It's the perfect season to turn off the lights, wrap yourself in a blanket and get lost in your favorite horror movies. But what makes it to make us so scared? Well, producer, director and writer Dwight Little joins us this morning to break down the art of horror filmmaking. Thank you for joining us, Dwight. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you so much.
Well, we appreciate your time, and obviously it's spooky season right now, and there's a huge horror movie community out there. So what do you think it is that resonates with that genre with so many of us?
Well, it's all about the villain. That's sort of the consistent theme, isn't it? If you think of the horror franchises, you think of Freddy and Michael and Jason and Pinhead, and that's really where it starts. You know, this oncoming dread, evil, the threat, the outsider, the danger. And I think then how the heroes react to overcoming that is what gives this real suspense and power. The Exorcist, of course, is the perfect, it's the devil himself. But so it all starts with the villain, in my view, and then having great characters. There's a villain. Having great characters that can overcome impossible odds and vanquish the villain. It's true in action movies, suspense thrillers, but particularly true in horror.
Yeah, you mentioned a bunch of my all-time favorite, anti-heroes or villains, whatever you want to call them. And you yourself actually directed one, Michael Myers. You directed Halloween 4. So do you have any memories you could share from taking on that? And what is the pressure attached to taking such an iconic figure with someone like Michael Myers?
Well, in our case, the pressure was compounded by the fact that Michael had been killed in Halloween 2. And they went on to make Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which was less successful than they'd hoped. And they wanted to bring Michael back. So we had to bring Michael back to the audience, kind of raise him from the dead, if you will. And the writer, Alan McElroy, and I came up with a way to get him out of a coma and back into the world. So that was job one. Job two was getting him back to Haddonfield and to trace his niece, Jamie Lloyd, who was played by Danielle Harris, and start the whole sort of nightmare all over again. I had done a lot of trick-or-treating myself, and I kind of brought my own memories to those streets and, those shadowy alleys and dark, wind-blown, leafy sidewalks. And so I felt like I was able to bring a real Halloween atmosphere to it.
Yeah, we talked about, why people are so, gravitate towards horror movies and people love being scared. But what elements as a director and in directing a movie like that do you think have to be in place to create a good horror film?
You have to believe the reality of the moment. In order for a jump scare or something to be truly terrifying, you have to first draw the audience into the reality of the moment. Because once they feel like they're being led down an alley just to be scared, the game is up. So what you want to do is have an organic story with a clear narrative. So when you introduce the monster, you're in a real situation, and then people get terrified. And I really think the key is, I know it sounds kind of silly, but the key is good storytelling. And then after you have great storytelling, then the fears and the jumps and the monster really comes into play.
Well, talking about sharing information like this, you've actually written a book yourself titled Still Rolling Inside the Hollywood Dream Factory. Why did you decide you wanted to write this book? And it also does seem that a lot of young people out there are studying film and TV and looking to make movies themselves in an independent fashion.
Well, it's exactly the point you just raised. I was asked by a colleague to make a couple guest lectures at UCLA, and I went down there kind of as a courtesy, and I found that these large lecture halls, and this was in the evening, were just packed. Not really because of me, but just because of the interest in young filmmakers, film students. And then I did a second one, and it was packed again, and I thought, okay, well, I really... if I have something to add to this conversation, I should write it down. So it really grew out of me giving these talks. And it was like, it's kind of a mini TED talk, if you will. And so then I wrote the book, and it is helpful, I think, for people wanting to step foot into the business to see what the path was for maybe someone before them.
Yeah, Dwight, well, we appreciate your time this morning, but before I let you go, I'm going to channel my inner Wes Craven and scream and ask you, hey, Dwight, what's your favorite scary movie?
It's The Exorcist 1.
It's an absolute classic. What do you think it is about that film that still to this day, from the 70s, still resonates with people? Is it the story behind it? Is it all the things that happened on set, or is it the film itself?
I thought she was possessed. Of course I was. They really, really convinced me that little girl was possessed by the devil. It scared the hell out of me.
Well, Captain Howdy is calling me off in the distance right now, Dwight, so I have to go. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Have a good morning. Thank you.
Have a scary morning yourself. So if you want to learn more about Dwight Little and his career and the projects he's been working on, check out his page on imdb.com.